Hey, Oliver here with Matthew. Today we're going to talk about kettlebell swings, how to do them, how not to do them. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing with a good kettlebell swing is really having a good deadlift, good hip hinge. So Matthew here is going to demonstrate for us. We'll do like 3 good deadlifts. So first thing is he's got a good neutral spine, shins are relatively straight. He's loading back into his hips, squeezing his glutes up to the top. And then if we pause up at the top of our deadlift here, one thing is we should have our abs in nice and tight, glutes in nice and tight. Obviously, top of our deadlift and top of our kettlebell swing should feel like a plank. So abs and glutes kind of squeezing in together. They're nice and tight, even though it looks like he's just resting there at the top. So it's good there for our deadlifts. Now that we're through the deadlift, we're going to talk about getting started with our kettlebell swing. First component of a kettlebell swing is just going to be hiking the kettlebell through. So I'm going to have Matthew set up in his position here. We want to always start with the kettlebell out in front of the body where you're slightly reaching and kind of tipping it back towards you. First thing we're going to find is this engagement through your lats here. So he's kind of loaded up and stretched in his glutes, and he's just going to pull that kettlebell back between his legs. His hips are staying steady while he's doing this. So we're just loading the kettlebell back, squeezing those lats in from there. That kind of gets the kettlebell in a good position to start for our swings there. So that's good right there. All right, so now that we have the deadlift down, the hiking of the kettlebell down, we kind of have that weight in the right position. We're just going to go through the timing of the kettlebell swing. So we're going to do a naked kettlebell swing. So I'm going to have Matthew pretend as if he has a kettlebell between his legs there. So we have the forearms pretty much as high up into the groin as we can. That's what loads the weight into our hips. We're going to go through that deadlifting motion, and we're going to keep the forearms attached to our hips. So he's going to go ahead and shoot his hips through here. Weight, again, is going to stay connected to the hips. Once he's through there, weight's going to float up and away. We're going to leave the hips up until the arms come back. As soon as the arms hit, then he's going to hinge back. So now we're going to speed up that motion a little bit so you can kind of see it going all the way through. The idea here is that the hips only move while the forearms are attached. So the weight kind of floats away while the hips are locked out. We go back into that hip hinge once the kettlebell, once the forearms kind of come back into the hips there. So that's good right there. So now that we got the timing of the kettlebell swing down, now we're going to go through power swings. Power swings just give us an opportunity to pause in between each one of the swings. So we're going to just pause on the ground. So we're going to go through that whole hiking motion, go through one kettlebell swing up to the top. He's going to swing up to about shoulder height on the kettlebell, come back down to that hip hinge, park the kettlebell back down. That gives him a chance to reset and take another breath. So have you go through 3 power swings here. So he's going to load up, hike back, shoot the hips, and then come all the way back down. Nice. And then we can also too just give like a little backboard, just only swing it up to about shoulder height there. So it's good there. So now that we've gone through the deadlift and the power swing, we'll go through full kettlebell swings. So now is really where that timing comes through. Really important to time out your breath as well as you're going. So we're going to inhale as we go back into our kettlebell swing, exhale as we come up to the top there. Should be making some audible breaths as we go, and then just staying on that timing and that rhythm. And again, maintaining some good tension through the top there. So Matthew here is going to demonstrate 5 full swings for us. All right, a couple of the big reasons why we're going to be doing kettlebell swings. They're one of the best exercises for targeting our glutes and our hamstrings, and particularly in a more explosive kind of athletic fashion. So it'll progress you from doing something more like a deadlift, something a little bit slower, something a lot more explosive, and translating that into your runs, hikes, cycling, all that good stuff.